Being part of Smart Names Business again, we're into the last few minutes of the show with 31 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's stick around with more of what is happening from the SMB local updates. Now, this particular next report is a very huge one for Uganda and the entire economy, as details coming in from there have revealed that Michael Ating-Ego, who is the current deputy governor of the Bank of Uganda, received the Central Bank Governor of the Year award. Now, the Bank of Uganda Deputy Governor Michael Ating-Ego has been awarded the Central Bank Governor of the Year award. The award was presented in Accra, Ghana. Now, Accra, Ghana is part of the prestigious annual, this is actually part of the prestigious annual African Banker magazine that recognizes the central bank governors for driving economic stability in their respective countries by taming inflation as well as ensuring a stable exchange rate regime. The award comes at a time when the Bank of Uganda is seeking to tame growing inflationary pressures that have seen inflation rise above the growing inflation pressures that have seen inflation rise above the target of 5%. Yesterday, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics indicated, one day back, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics indicated that the inflation had risen to 6.3% in May, up from 4.9% in April due to rising food, fuel, and other commodities. Ating-Ego, who is also an economist, has been pivotal in ensuring economic stability amid a number of challenges, among which include COVID-19 and runaway commodity prices. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Economics from the University of Liverpool, a Master of Arts in Economics from Cardiff Business School in the United Kingdom, and he also holds a bachelor's degree in economics from Makerere University. Ating-Ego has been running the central bank since his former boss Emmanuel Tumusime Mutebire died in January, and Michael Ating-Ego is a gentleman who replaced former deputy to governor of Uganda, that is Louis Kasekende. So the African Banker magazine was launched in May 2007 with focus on banking and finance in Africa, with concentrated coverage of news from banking, finance, insurance and currency, direct and indirect financial investments, as well as stock and capital markets. The event was held under the patronage of the African Development Bank, being part of the program of the bank's annual meetings, which ended on May 27th. The African Banker Awards celebrate excellence in Africa banking. This recognizes both individuals and institutions that drive transformation. Then the other awards included the African Banker Icon and Finance Minister of the Year, which went to Vera Songwe, who is the UN Under-Secretary General and Executive Director of the Economic Commission for Africa. And then the other award, that is the Finance Minister of the Year, went to Vera Esperança dos Santos de Sousa, Angola's Finance Minister. And then a total of 22 awards were presented at a ceremony that attracted more than 300 banking and financial service professionals. And yes, that is it. Huge congratulations to Michael Ating-Ego, who is the Deputy Governor to the Bank of Uganda, for winning that award and bringing it back home. All right, now lastly from the local updates in today's, we look at the commodity prices as Mbale and Gulu city register the highest price surges according to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics. So the price increase surged mostly in Mbale and Gulu during the month of May, as according to the data from the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, the increases were driven by both food and non-alcoholic beverages, which in both cities surged to double digits. In Mbale, for instance, UBO's data indicates prices increased by 8.5% in May. That is up from 5.7% in April 2022 due to food and non-alcoholic beverages inflation. Now, this increased to 16.2%, up from 8%. And then the increase was also driven by transport inflation, which later on increased to 6.4% in May, up from 1.5% in April. In Gulu, prices rose to 8.4% in May, up from 6.9% in April, and this was mainly driven due to food and non-alcoholic beverages inflation. Now, this inflation rose to 17.9%, up from 7.8%, and similarly, Gulu registered an increase in furnishings, household equipment, and routine household inflation, which rose to 25.3% in May, up from 23.3% in April. However, Kampala High Income and Jinja registered the lowest increases that were influenced by a reduction in restaurants and accommodation service rates. For instance, in Kampala, for example, high income inflation slightly rose to 5.1% in May, up from 4.8% due to low inflationary pressures driven by restaurants and accommodation service inflation, which decreased by 3.3% from 5.2%, while in Jinja, inflation rose from 3.7% in April to 5.7% in May. While presenting the Consumer Price Index for May 2022 in Kampala, Aliziki Kelubega, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Director, Economic Statistics, said that there has been an increase in inflationary pressures due to increase in the prices of food and non-alcoholic beverage inflation. Which had largely remained subdued. Other price increases, she said, had been experienced in the transport sector. There is furnishings, household equipment, and routine household items. As the Uganda Bureau of Statistics data also indicates that commodity and service prices have increased across the country, and this is due to the high price increase, which was also registered in Fort Portal, in which inflation rose from 6.7% in April to 7.7% in May. Now, in Kampala, low-income prices increased from 4.5% in April to 7.2% in May, while in Arua, these same details rose around 5.5% to 7.2%. Masaka and Barara registered slight increases due to a slowdown in restaurants and accommodation of services in inflation. Now, in Masaka, inflation rose from 4.5% to 6.6% in May, while in Barara, it rose from 4.3% to 5.8%. Though now, the key highlight is how Mbale and Gulu registered the highest prices or highest price increase during the month of May, amid the continuous rise in prices in Uganda, from fuel to essentials and other commodities in the country. All right. Now, away from the local updates, we're heading into sports business. Stick around for a minute. I'll be right back to give you more details from the world of sports.